Okay, this is part 3 of the Durum Sunflower Bread. It's already risen an inch above. You can see that. Well, I have to turn it for you to see it. Set your oven at 375 and you're going to bake it for 45 minutes. At the end of that, take it out of the bread pan, turn it on its side on a rack so it can cool. When it's completely cool, then you can cut it. If you cut it before then, it will go back to a dough state. Like everything that you bake, when it comes out, it's got to set a bit, it's got to cool before you cut it, or it'll go back into that dough state because it's still cooling off and cooking at the same time. So listen, let's see, can I do this? What time is it? Yeah, I'll hold the phone for an hour. I'll pause you. Okay, this video is going to have 2 things we're working on. I got a Poussin. These are very small little individual birds. I'll be cleaning them in a bit. And what we're making, I do not have a sharp-tailed grouse, so I'm using these in place of it. This is from my wild game cookbook, all right? So what we have to do is we're going to have to clean these. I'm also going to be doing the bread at the same time, so this video's got 2 on it. This is what we're going to make. So they call it soused grouse. All right, now it's known as a sharp-tailed grouse. Well, anyway, I don't have that bird. I went to my butcher. He said I can't, but I've got something we can substitute for it. So let me go ahead and clean these little birds, and I'll tell you how we're getting our seasonings and stuff together for this recipe. Okay, these little birds are pronounced, I'm going to try Poussin. It's Poussin. Right now you need 1/4 cup of flour. I need the oven for the birds, so we're sort of going back and forth between both of them right now. You need 1/4 teaspoon of poultry seasoning. Yeah, 1/4 teaspoon. This is all going with the flour in a bowl. I can't show you because I've got everything in front of you right now. So we're gonna have to do it a little different this way. But anyway, we'll be cooking these birds. You need 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt. No, I want to get into this. You need 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. So this is really something different that we're going to be really going to. Half a teaspoon of regular salt. I'm not using my kelp mixture because of the way this is put, so it's a, did I say half a teaspoon? Yeah, half a teaspoon. And we might need more later, so don't put it up. Half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. I'm not going to lie to you, these little birds are a bit on the expensive side by the pound. Did I tell you how much black pepper? No, I did not. I just went and got my pepper. 1/2 teaspoon. And grind it fine. If you already have it ground, just 1/2 teaspoon. But he said these birds are really, really nice. So I said, okay. Because I went in asking him for these birds, and he said he didn't have those, but he said I have something that's right around that area. This is why I say all of you women that have a hunter, you are such lucky dogs. I grew up, my father was a hunter, so I know the game meat that I'm missing now that I grew up on. You know, if women had to do all this by hand like this, I could see why they made small portions. they tell their children they're going to eat what's on the dinner table or the breakfast. She would have to grind all the flour and everything. You think of how spoiled we are today. And women complain. You have nothing to complain about. You really don't. You don't have to wash clothes by hand anymore. Scrubbing on a scrub board. Now there's a job nobody would want to do. Alright, I'm mixing my flour mixture up. So I'm going to have to stop doing some stuff here because I've got the bread going there and I need my oven for this. Alright. They'll want us to drench the birds in this flour, but I can't do that right now, so we're going to have to wait. You're also going to need blackberries. And you're also going to need blackberry brandy. I told you this sounds too good to pass up. And I'm going to have it with the jasmine rice I made today, so you know that's going to be good. All right, you're going to need a pan. They want a 9 by 13. I have a 13 by 10. I'm going to head and use this pan. I can't do it any other way. It's got to be a pan that can go on the flame. And it's going into the broiler, so it cannot be glass. The best thing for you to do, if you have a stove, you have a broiling pan, take the bottom part. I've seen my mother do it many a time. She would take the bottom part and put it on the stove top with a flame under it, literally, because she was making things with it, like gravies and stuff like I'm getting ready to do. And then she would take it and put it into the oven as well. So this is what we're going to be doing. So it's very important that you have that now. All right, we are going to need 3 tablespoons of butter in the broiler pan, the bottom part of the broiler pan, I'm going to call it. 3 tablespoons. We're just getting everything ready for when we get ready to do the dish. Okay, just lay it there. We're going to be using more butter. Okay, what will be going in this? Okay. Well, we won't pour this until later. Okay, we need 3 shallots. You want to slice them chopped. You want them chopped. Okay, we can do that. So we're going to have a lot of this prepping done ahead of time. So when they come out, we can start moving on this. So you're going to leave the shallots on your chopping board or block or whatever you're using, because we're not going to move it yet to where it has to go. Got the flour. We clean the birds. Clean them just like you would a chicken. So sometimes when you have a private butcher and he recommends something, you should listen to him, because he knows his cuts very, very well. I always listen to the butchers if they have something to say. He was supposed to call me Saturday, but with the weather coming in, they might not have opened up, so I'll catch him. I'll catch him on Friday. Might call them Monday and see if I can come in early for that order. Just chopping this if that's what you want to see. It's staying on the cutting board, and I have the flour mixture here just like I told you. I am sorry. I wasn't talking to you for a second. I was thinking about how I want to do this. You're also going to need fresh blackberries as well as blackberry brandy. I should have waited for my blackberry plant, but it's sleeping right now since it's winter. See, that's what I got frustrated with. I have like two Hunter's cookbooks. I gave one to my friend Ralph with recipes in it because I knew I'd never cook them again. I forgot that I had this. And I went in there, and so I went to my butcher. Can you? And he says, I got something for you. So butchers really, if you get a friend as a butcher, and you work well with your butcher, you don't get angry and negative, and listen to him, he'll help you. And the beautiful part about was a restaurant had ordered a big box of these birds. And then they canceled out on the order after he got it. And I said, now that's not nice. That's just downright mean. But these little birds, I'm not going to lie to you, they're a little on the expensive side. And I wouldn't pass them up, this recipe. Now look, there's no more we can do. You have to let this sit, let the butter stay in that pan and everything. I will be back as soon as my bread is done. I just can't do anything anymore. This is it. I'm at a stop. Okay, here are the breads. They're a heavy bread, but they're delicious. Next, we'll be getting the chickens going. Well, they're not really. They're the Poussin, Poussin birds going. I call birds chicken. I'm going to have to learn to not do that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to hold you back some. It's the only way I can do this. We're going to melt this butter in this pan. Then we're going to add the shallots that we chopped up. And you're also going to need a half a cup of brandy. Blackberry brandy, because these are cooked in blackberry. So, might have to go to a liquor store to get this. And you can buy a small bottle. It'll do the job. See, I told you my mother used to do this. I'm very familiar with using this pan for this. Because sometimes she had to. I was just reading some more of the recipes out of this cookbook, and I said, God, I hope he can get some of this wild game for me. He said somebody was asking for duck breast. And I said, because I had asked her, he said, you're the second person. I had to put it on order. I said, okay. But you have a good butcher, you can always find some excellent meats, and they'll go out of their way to help you. If you give them your patronage, they will sit there. quick, this part. It's just one part I'm having problems with, but you know, I'll get over it. All right, add the blackberry brandy, a half a cup. Now you're going to take this and move it somewhere. We'll come back to it later, don't worry. Okay, I need my frying pan now. I'm using my frying pan. I'm sure you can use, but I have 3 birds I'm going to be putting on here. Let's flour them first before I go any further. We're going to be using more brandy, so don't do anything with it. Okay, they want you to take the flour that we mixed together with the seasonings, and they want you to flour these birds. Toss it just like you would chicken. One person gets a bird each. Now these are bigger than Cornish hens. I mean, these are smaller than Cornish hens. Cornish hens are bigger than them. No, I want some more flour on this one. You didn't get enough here. Okay. Turn your frying pan on with 2 tablespoons of butter as you're getting your chicken ready. The Poussins, I'm sorry. I'll probably call it chicken through the whole thing. And it's not. They're Poussins. And like you can see, my French is like, sucks. But Europe cooks a lot of these wild games and stuff, which is really nice. That's why I say people who have a husband as a hunter, you get some really lovely dishes. I mean, my father went fishing one time. He came back with a big red fish. I mean, it was huge. Well, for a little girl, it was huge. My parents barbecued it. My mother had canned barbecue sauce, but she had made it. Something that you don't hear about anymore. That's why I say, you women who have hunters, you're very lucky. The things that you can have that other people might not ever get a chance to unless they go overseas or something, because they eat these wild games. Now what you're going to do with the Poussin is we are literally going to brown them all over. So they're going to be browning up in this butter. And that's what we're doing. Keep you a little back because I just feel this is going to pop. Okay. This is exactly how you're doing it. You're not cutting them. You're not separating them. When you get ready to serve them, I'll show you how they're served. I don't know if I need that, so I'll leave that there. I got everything now. And we're just going to brown this all over. And this is exactly what they tell you to do. You're going to brown them. And then we're going to put them into the oven. And what they want you to do is have this lowest shelf free on the bottom of your oven. I'll turn this light on. I have this one up high so I can get this pan in here. They want it down here. I already made my salad. I made the rice, which you already know about. You're going to need 1 cup of blackberries as well, fresh blackberries. So I'm going to be browning this all over, and they're going to be sitting here cooking. And that's what you're going to do in the 2 tablespoons of butter. When I get them brown, I'll show you the next step. I'm interrupting my browning. This is how brown they're going to get. Doesn't that look nice? It's a nice golden brown. All right, you've browned them all over. Hold on a minute. Let me see what I have to do next. Set them in your pan. Let me see what I have to do next. Okay. We have to pour some brandy on each one of these. All right. Hope I have enough to finish up with. And you're going to put them, now listen, this is the part I've always told you, when you do the broiler, you leave that door open. They want you to put this on the lowest shelf that you have on broil, and we're going to be broiling them for a good 20 minutes. Now the thing is that you're going to be going in periodically, and we're going to be, you know, what's the term? Basting them. All right? So I've got my oven closed. I never do this. This is like the first time I'm ever doing this, because I know how hot the oven's going to get. They want it hot like that. Now what are we going to do with this? Hold on. We're going to put it back on the burner here. Okay. We are going to pour 1.5 cups of brandy. The blackberry brandy, that's what we're using. I don't even know if I have a 1/2 cup anymore. Nope, I finished it up. So I'm only going to have a cup. Sorry about that. I'm going to buy a larger bottle next time. I thought that would have done it. And what you're going to do is reduce this with the drippings in the pan. I can't reduce mine too much, as you know. I don't have enough brandy to do that. But do not forget those birds, because we have to baste them. I have peach brandy. I wonder how peach and blackberry would go together. Might go well together. I might get it just to try it. Well, anyway, pour 1/2 cup, 1.5 cups of blackberry brandy in here, and you're going to reduce it as you take the drippings and stuff off of this. We're also going to be taking the drippings from that as well, so don't worry. And then I'll show you how to prepare the birds to serve them. There's something about liquor, it always burns my eyes when I cook with it. So if you have 1.5 cups of brandy, reduce it by half, okay? Mine is just about there. And I only had a cup left. I was sweating it. I didn't know I had enough. Okay, now we've got to keep an eye on these birds. Make sure we don't burn. Yeah, I know you're up there. You don't have to tell me. Okay, let's see. do be careful. This is extremely, oh! Me and liquor don't go together too well. Anyway, I'm going to be doing that for about 20 minutes. Okay? So just keep track of it. Every once in a while, do go in there and check if the legs of the bird will burn. And when we get them out of that, we're going to take that sauce and we're going to add it with this one we just put in the frying pan, and then we're going to reduce it by half again with blackberries in them. So I'll show you how we're doing it. I'm going to put you here. I got a break for now while I'm cooking these birds. Remember, they're going to be baking at a very high temperature. Do not leave them too long without being checked. All right, and I'll be back. Okay, I have you over there. I'm going to set these up on a server. Whoa. They are hot. I am not kidding. Okay. We have them here. Now the drippings that are in the pan that was in the broiler, you're going to scrape them and put them into the blackberry brandy that we reduced. I couldn't reduce as much as I wanted, but start reducing this. You need a cup of blackberries, and you're going to put them in here too. Now it seems they don't want these birds cooked dry because they're little. They said you have to be careful about that. So I was extremely careful not to overdo them. That's why they said just 20 minutes. The juice is running out quite nice from them. So you're going to reduce this. See, I always tell my sons, don't you ever close that door when you're at broil. And what did I do? I had to close the door. Man, I wouldn't leave the kitchen. I was a bit nervous about it. I said, no, I'm not leaving the kitchen alone. So, cook this down, and then we will be done. And now, on these birds, I'm going to show you what has to be done. I'm supposed to do it after that reduces, but I'm going to do it a little ahead of time. See that breastplate? You cut on one side of it, this way, and then you cut one side on this way, so you could sit there and get the juices, and you're going to pour this over it. Okay? So that's what they want you to do. So the juice that we're doing right now is going to wiggle right in between those two slits that you just did next to the breastplate. And make sure you go on both sides. Now they want this reduced by half, and then we're going to pour it over these birds. And with that jasmine rice, you can take these drippings and pour over your jasmine rice on your plate as well. And you know that will be delicious. So this is going to get thick as we do this. I have mine on high. I'm wondering when I write down the title. This is the last part of the bread, and yes, I wonder how many people are going to look at the recipe and sit there and say, I wonder what she did. We just have to wait for this to get thick. See how it's, or you can't see it, I'm sorry. See how it's acting? I got the chicken. I've got the Poussin here. I keep calling it a chicken because I folded it, the wings back like I do a chicken. This is almost like candying it, and then we're going to be pouring this over it. You see how it's thickening up nice? And you notice the blackberries are turning slightly red now. So I do recommend that when you do the birds and you have them in the broiler, if the door is closed, do keep an eye on them. Do not leave the kitchen. I don't want you to have a problem. Oh, this is really coming out nice. Okay, now let's get these things ready to serve. The rest I'll put in a sauce so we can pour it over the jasmine rice. But that's it. That's how we did it. So listen, you take care and have a great day.